Welcome back to We're Not Friends.
Welcome back.
Episode 10, WNF podcast is our other alter ego.
What?
I don't know.
You mean our abbreviation?
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to make it sound cool. I don't know, man.
I assume that'll be our most commonly known name.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. So we were off last weekend. It's just been pretty busy around here with work. And I think the impact of staying at home for 6 months has finally started to wear on us, especially with this outrageous work schedule. So we just went ahead and took the weekend off. We were trying to plan around doing some things and doing the podcast, and it just felt kind of nice to unplug.
Yeah, it was a good natural break just to not do any video production work, including setting up, shooting, editing, releasing it out there, doing all that stuff. It's not that it's extensively time consuming, but
it takes the whole day.
It takes an entire day out of a weekend for sure. Partially an evening, and then majority of a day the next day. So all in all, it really is a full day out of a weekend. And a weekend is too fucking short already.
Here. Give me 3-day weekends or give me death.
There's been a ton of studies talking about how people are so terrible with time management that they believe that a 4-day week is actually more efficient. And a lot of Scandinavian countries are trying this out, and they've been seeing that it actually has worked really well. So, I don't know. Like this past week was a 4-day week. And I have to say, I think I probably did a lot more work and crammed in a lot more just to be able to get that shit done and to be able to feel like a normal weekend where it's like clean slate, moving on. I don't know.
I mean, I already work 40 hours. Over 40 hours by the end of Thursday. So I do deserve Friday off.
Yeah. And I think it makes a lot of sense whenever companies do the half Friday.
I can tell you, many companies don't do a full Friday or half day anymore. It's like that was
Really?
A trend. Yeah. It was like that was a trend 10 years ago that tapered off.
Oh, shit. I didn't
now the
realize
whole
it.
thing is unlimited PTO. Nobody ever uses that shit. There's been so many studies. Companies know you're not going to fucking use it as much as you would in the system of like you use it, you lose it kind of thing. So yeah, it's all a joke. They're just abusing my time.
Actually, that makes sense, what you're saying. That unlimited PTO equals people valuing it less. Therefore, they're not planning it ahead. They're not putting it down the calendars. They're not making sure that
you're not going to lose it.
Right. So there was this guy, his name's Nas. Not the rapper, but
okay, I was like,
not the rapper.
Aware
he releases these videos, and they're called Nas Daily. He's Arab, but he lives partially in Israel. And so what he did was he wanted people to come to more Middle Eastern countries, and he wanted to share that with people. So he actually bought a nice condo near the Gaza Strip, and he wanted to kind of wipe away some of the negative connotations of it. And so he said, guys, here's the deal. Here's how you can contact me. This is going to be completely free. You just give me a heads up the day you're going to be there, and then at that point, you get to stay there for free. In a given month, at a minimum, 2 of the weeks, if not more, were people canceling last minute. Because
Are you
it was
sure
free.
It's not because of the location, Sean?
No, because it was free. Then he started putting in some kind of small monetary thing, like negligent fee, and he almost never got a cancellation. So free, you end up devaluing it, and you end up not necessarily taking any importance of it. It's just fucking a throwaway for you. So
yeah,
that just
sure.
goes to show.
But my point in saying that in the first place is that companies have rebranded the short work week, which everybody was all about. Instead, they rebranded it to unlimited PTO because they knew nobody would fucking use it. And they did away with those 4-day work weeks.
Right.
Absolutely shisty.
Same mindset, value. You don't value it. That's it. So
it's been rough. So COVID's been rough. I don't know how. I think I've mentioned this before. I don't know how you guys do it with kids at home. This has been a long 6 months, and I can't imagine having to manage, when everybody was teaching their kids before the summer and then manage them in the summer when they can't do all the activities that they normally do. Like, seriously, mad props to parents.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do it, because this kind of was just like a reaffirming thing for us where we're like, oh, fuck. Yeah, we don't want kids.
Yeah, I even see parents now. Some school districts are actually doing like 3-day weeks in school and then 2 days at home. And how is that realistic for 2-parent households at work?
I don't know. I mean,
or a single parent. Fuck. Can you imagine a single parent?
No, I can't.
Fuck.
I cannot imagine it.
Brutal.
I think about it a lot.
You and I both, at one point of our lives, you mostly, were in a single parent household. So how fucking awful that would be.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine a single parent with a stressful job that people just don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm interested in people that are our age, maybe married, maybe not married, don't have children. I often think about, because in previous jobs, I felt perhaps I was a little taken advantage of because I didn't have those dependents. So maybe I would be the one up on late night calls or early in the morning. And honestly, when I was younger, I was like, that's fine, whatever. But during this whole COVID thing, I don't know, for my team at least, it's pretty equal. Doesn't matter if you have kids or not. I know other teams that are less stressful than mine at my company maybe cut a little slack, but my team, everybody was still just as crazy busy. So I don't know how people balanced it, man.
I have to admit something that I've totally pulled. Whenever people have been scheduling meetings and I'm talking with a big group of people, I have cut a meeting short to say, I've got to get back to my family.
I am your family.
I know that.
And so is Fabrizio.
But I leave it to the open interpretation that, like, I've got, like, a wife and, like, several kids.
But that's bullshit. That's exactly the fucking problem.
That's the
I get so triggered by this, Sean, when people are like,
right,
I have to get back to my family. Oh, no, my family. I have kids. I'm like, wait. I have a fucking family. I have a husband and a dog that needs me. Are you saying my family isn't valid? Yeah,
and they've totally made the comment of something along the lines of like, yeah, you probably got a kid or something like that. And I don't say shit. I'm just like, well, whatever. All right, see you. Bye, guys.
That's such crap.
And I don't say shit. I just head out of the meeting because, yeah, you're right. There is a double standard when it comes to people that are just a husband and wife family and husband, wife, and a dog, or a husband, wife, and kids.
Yeah, it totally is. But I still, regardless, I definitely recognize my privilege right now with this pandemic that I don't have to manage children, work, entertaining kids, educating them. I mean, I don't know how.
Entertaining them?
Oh, I know.
Entertaining them right now.
Keeping them at home? There's no fucking way. I can't imagine. Like, seriously, all props to everybody. Like, I'm so impressed by people managing this because honestly, I felt a little sad lately.
Yeah, we usually give pretty fucking good props to dinks, dual income, no kid couples. But you know what? To the fucking parents and single parents that are dealing with this shit right now, good for you, man. I hope, I hope you guys keep your sanity through this shit because we're barely keeping it.
For sure. Again, we're just really lucky right now. Times are tough. It's crazy. I know we've talked a lot about the pandemic, civil unrest, rightfully so. And now we've got these crazy fires in California, Oregon, Washington.
Fucking 2020.
It's apocalyptic. Like, this is fucking nuts.
Yeah, that was maybe about a month ago. There was one morning where even in Arizona, the sky was like an orange tint. And I thought that was fucking weird looking. And then to see on friends' social media to where it's not a fucking tint, it's a full-blown orange sky.
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic shit.
Like red, dark. They can't even see the
Scary.
sun even when it clears off. All my friends in California, in the Bay Area, even when that red stuff goes away, the atmosphere is so dirty that it blocks out the sun.
Have you seen people videotape the ground and them like stomping on the ground and then showing that dust come up, or slapping their cars, or the
That's
ash
not
come up?
dust.
I'm sorry, ash, yeah. And seeing all that shit's going in their lungs too.
It's scary. I mean, they already have to wear a mask because of COVID.
Right.
I was talking to one of my leaders at work, and she was saying how they had just got downgraded from unhealthy to very unhealthy. And she was like, very unhealthy. This is like fatal. I go outside, I can't breathe. Like, it's crazy how just toxic, the air is. It's horrible.
Right. And most people are right now wearing cloth material masks like cotton or bandanas. And that's not filtered. Some are, like you and I, we were smart about this. We actually got cotton with a filter that slips into it. But most people don't do that. And not even that would prevent all of the just toxic shit that you'd be breathing in. So you would need a full-blown mask. And
You mean the N95 mask?
Is that enough?
Yeah, we should have Googled it. They're recommending 2 types of mask that you actually wear, one for COVID.
I'll look it up real quick.
And one for the fires. Like, literally, they said if you want to be smart to handle this stuff, it's like 2 types of mask you should be wearing. One type for the fire and the smoke, and then the other for COVID.
Yeah, it looks like you're right. It is the N95 and N100 masks. Those seem to be the best. And not a lot of people have those. Like I said, most people are using material.
Yeah, I mean, and it's in short supply because it's COVID. It's bad. It's bad. So it's pretty wild because California, it seems, has had more fires consistently over the past couple of years, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems to be getting worse there, right? But this was particularly surprising to see Washington and Oregon as well on fire. And that is, that's scary, man.
Yeah. Looking at or thinking about the Oregon landscape of it being so richly green, especially this time of year, and just how rapid a fire could go through that is fucking scary. And, it's a rare thing for me to fucking think that here in Arizona, we're somewhat fortunate because we don't have a lot of brush that could get up in flames very quickly. We do have fires for sure, but they don't really go on that long.
Well, we have fires in national forest.
Yeah,
so
where we do have that green.
Phoenix is a valley. So when you were referring to a month ago when our skies were discolored, we actually had quite a bit of wildfires.
Yeah.
However, Phoenix is in the valley. There are some national forests to our east, to the southeast, and then to the north of us. So, yes, we do have fires as well, but they stay, unfortunately, to pretty much wiping out those forests. But they don't really go into, I think, a lot of civilized areas because, yeah, if you were to look at Jean and I's backyard, it's rocks.
Yeah.
And then we have a fair-sized patch of grass. And then, of course, like some bushes and different types of plants. My rose bushes they dead. Because, the heat here has been ridiculous. I mean, talk about apocalyptic. Okay, so California's even worse and on fire. But Arizona, we broke 18 records for the highest highs ever this year.
Fuck.
We broke like 12 or 13 records for the highest lows.
Damn.
In the summer this year. And I believe we're on record or on track, if we haven't broken it already, to be like the hottest summer on record.
What's weird is it actually didn't feel that bad in like the first months, like May and June. It just hit real fucking hard in July, though. July on August hit real fucking hard.
It's draining. It's draining.
And then Labor Day is done, and then we get right into it, and then it's like drops down like 60-something degrees.
Well, overnight. So let's be clear.
Right,
it dropped down to
overnight.
66 overnight one night. And as soon as a cold snap comes through overnight, our pool is frigid. So although it's still getting up to like 105 during the day, our pool has not heated back up. So we're pretty worried that we're not going to really be able to utilize it the rest of September. This happened the first year we were here. Some of our best friends came to visit, and we were like, yeah, we've got this great pool, all these floaties. We'll play beer pong outside. Like, we got the dopest backyard. And literally the week before they visited, we had a cold snap like that, and we could not get in the fucking pool. It was the worst. And it also rained. It hadn't rained here in months.
And it's fucking Arizona.
And it rained. And they visited from Florida where it rains all the time. And they're like, did we bring the rain with us? It was shitty.
Oh, it was so shitty.
No wonder they haven't come back. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Sonia and Chris.
It's heartbreaking to see that the fires have continued to get worse every fucking year.
And people are losing their... So not only are towns are being devastated, completely burned down.
Yeah.
People are losing all of their belongings because sometimes these fires shift so quickly that it's a matter of minutes you have to evacuate. But they're losing their lives. I read the most depressing story about a grandma and her grandson who, with their dog, got separated, I guess, from his parents. And the grandma, grandson, and the dog ran and got in a car for safety, thinking that it would protect them. And, they died because fires tear apart cars. It's heartbreaking. I cried, and they said that the dog was still in the little boy's lap.
Fuck,
I was like,
babe.
oh my God, I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm just saying, man, like,
shit.
you
That's
think,
terrible.
like, you think
Fuck.
times are bad sometimes, right? Like, I felt a little down about just pandemic and some of the stuff that's going on. Like, holy shit, that's horrible.
Yeah, that is fucking terrible. In that one town that got hit real hard, Paradise in California, and this is the one where like the whole town was gone.
That was last year.
I know. Apparently, some people rebuilt some homes there. They're gone again. And it's kind of like, guys, fucking just, it's obviously just the environment, geography next to it is just not fucking great.
It's
just
sad,
don't fucking do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but, some of these people live there their whole lives.
I get it.
You don't know. Like, they don't know anything else. They don't know anywhere else, and they want to stay there. I read about a man who was living on his retirement, and he decided that, he lives in Oregon because it was cheaper. I believe maybe it was Washington, and he lives on $1,200 a month for his retirement, and he declined fire insurance because it was $128 a month, and it was too much for him because he didn't live on much, and he's lost everything.
Fucking fixed income living.
It's sad. So, like, if you are, it's okay to feel down on yourself sometimes and feel bad, about whatever situation, of course. But this always sticks with me. Somebody's always got it worse than you.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's fucking depressing. It is really sad.
It is. I don't know, like, where do we go from here? Is this going to be a yearly thing? Because I feel like it's beginning to look with climate change that this is a yearly thing.
Right. I don't think I ever heard it spreading up, into Oregon and Washington like it is right now, where people are evacuating. So, yeah, I don't know, guys. That is really fucking sad. I feel for all the people dealing with this right now, and I hope that this thing calms down, and I hope that they get a good control of it, and people can resume their lives in those areas because it's
with
fucking
minimal devastation.
Right. Yeah. So TikTok is just straight up saying they don't give a fuck what this whole 45-day deadline is that Trump gave them to sell their U.S. assets. They are straight up saying that if they can't come to a deal that they're not favorable to, they don't give a fuck. They'll just let it shut down.
Well, they don't want to seem like they're catering to the U.S.
So it could be posturing, right? I mean, it could be like a negotiation tactic to be like, fuck it, we're not rushing to a deal. Because there's been so many companies now that have said that they have an interest. It's like Microsoft.
Oracle.
Oracle. And then, like, my mind's going blank, but there's like a few other companies.
I think Microsoft and Oracle are the main ones at this point.
The top contenders, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, for either of them, it would make a lot of fucking sense, too, to step into a social media strength like that one right now.
Honestly, if they take away my TikToks, I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. Instagram just doesn't do it for me anymore. I'm addicted to my talks, man. I will watch it for hours. And I used to never watch things with the volume on. That used to bug the shit out of me. But listen, I'm living life recklessly now. I have to de-stress, and Jean listens to his fucking podcast full volume, and now here I am over here listening to my talks for 2 hours. It's amazing.
That's fucking terrible. I hate listening to it, but
I fucking love it.
I actually think this whole deadline thing that Trump gave is posturing and bullshit from the U.S. side, because in a recent press conference, they asked Trump, hey, are you serious about that deadline? Because they haven't nailed down which company is going to move forward with TikTok. And obviously there's going to be a period to wrap up the deal and make it official. Whenever they asked him about like the timeline for that, he completely forgot about the timeline and all that shit. So it's one of two things. Either we're not fucking serious about that 45-day deadline, or, which is more likely, Trump's just a fucking dummy. And like straight up forgot about this whole thing and was like, oh, I don't know.
That guy says so much bullshit every goddamn day. And he's old as fuck. He talks about Joe Biden and his cognitive dissonance. He has the same fucking issue, bro. So yeah, homie just spits a lot of shit and probably completely forgot about it.
Probably did.
It's just full of shit, man. I don't know. I just don't take my TikToks. I'm really, I don't know how I got into it, but I'm on like flight attendant TikTok right now. I get a lot of videos about being a flight attendant, their favorite places to fly to, horror stories, getting into flight attendant school. I honestly don't know how I got there, but I'm on it and it's interesting for now. So it's like that, and like conspiracy, not so much conspiracy anymore. Actually, I'm on like a horror TikTok loop, but somehow I got out of the selling panties online TikTok loop, which was really interesting to me.
Yeah. Okay.
So in short, I hope they don't ban it.
Yeah. Speaking of people trying to ban things, there's right now a call to cancel Netflix. And it's a part of the whole conservative movement of save the children thing that a lot of conservatives done, and it's connected to the QAnon stuff.
To take away from Black Lives Matter. Right.
Well, it's to take away from Black Lives Matter, but even before the Black Lives Matter movement, they've been doing this with Pizzagate for years.
Sure.
Saying that there's an underground ring. Yeah, no, I hear you were saying. But this is a part of this whole thing. And unfortunately, Netflix totally fell into the narrative that they were looking for, which is some that shows the attraction to younger children.
Okay.
And so that's what they're saying.
Let me explain it.
Right.
So they are boycotting a coming-of-age film about girls, I think, that are 11. And the way that conservative papers, I think, are writing about it, they're saying that it's like a twerk obsession. An 11-year-old girl's interested in twerking in a dance troupe, right? And they basically come for the director. They come for Netflix, and they say that they're taking advantage of young women. They're buying into the whole child abuse type vibe. Like, I'm trying to think all of the stuff that they said. Sorry, child abuse type vibe. I don't know what. Jesus Christ, it's not a vibe. But they're basically saying, God damn it, I'm tired. But they're saying like that basically this is Hollywood issue. It's their whole harem of people that are sitting back there abusing children, and it's obvious. And now they're in support of this documentary.
Right. I mean, this is so fucking ludicrous. Sidebar, that they say that like Tom Hanks is leading the child.
Tom Hanks is
the fucking the pedophile ring. That kind of shit.
So stupid. So basically, if you look, this has already been released in France, and this was released on Netflix, and the French version had a picture of these girls running down the streets of France with shopping bags.
Yeah.
And it looked like, okay, a coming of age type of film. Netflix does their shot with the girls in promiscuous hip hop dance troupe clothes, and they're postured very just sexually, and they look older than what they should.
Yeah.
And that's what they decided to fucking show.
Yeah, and it looks fucking provocative. It looks weird. And what a lot of conservatives have been showing on social media is sharing this dance scene. And if you look at the trailer of the movie, it does look like a coming of age type movie and all that. And it looks comparative to a lot of guys' coming of age movies. I remember when I was a kid, there was a lot of coming of age movies for guys where it was, guy awkwardly fucking trying to talk to girls, having to figure out how to masturbate while
right.
not running into your fucking parents, that kind of shit. And it's usually embarrassing. It was usually sexually charged with young guys. Laughable a lot of times. It's usually spun into a comedy. So I don't want to take away that if women have an opportunity to be able to show a coming of age tale that touches into sexuality, they should have that too.
But it's beyond that, actually. If you read anything about what the director said, she was saying, yes, it is a coming-of-age film, but it also focuses on how tough it is to be a young woman today with social media and the over-sexualization of young girls, especially girls of color. So that's the point of the film. They're not showing you twerking girls to show you twerking girls. This is the reality of it. This is what we have done to children today. It's tough when you're a teenage girl. Listen, I'm not even going to say the things that I got into when I was a teenager, but I was doing way more adult things than I should have been at that age. So they're just highlighting those kinds of things, that this is the reality, and that social media has even made it harder to be a girl becoming a teenager. The amount of stuff you see. There was a joke on TikTok showing what it was like to be a teenager back in the 90s and the type of dance videos you did.
Yeah.
Compared to girls that are 13 now and their dance videos online. It's vastly different.
Yeah, because it was the fucking Macarena
versus... I mean, I didn't...
No, I'm kidding, but it's the fucking
Sean,
Macarena versus...
I mean, this is the point. It's different.
Twerking. Yeah.
It's different. This is the generation that they're growing up in.
Yeah.
And the over-sexualization of women is, I think, at an all-time high.
For sure.
So I think conservatives are blowing something out of the water that they haven't seen. Yeah, it's disturbing, but this is the reality. Sean, we've gone to dance competitions for teenagers in our family, and they wear that kind of stuff. What I just saw on that video, crop top, tight shorts, all that, that's what they wear.
Right, but I've had several of my siblings, several of my ex-girlfriends, and I have spent all day at those dance recital, dance competition things. Nothing nearly as close to what they showed in the movie.
Sean,
because I saw the scene, and I'll say this, to kind of talk on the other counterpoint of it. What they showed was bothersome.
Yes, but that's the point of it.
Okay,
that's what she's saying.
Okay,
if you read her. She's not like, oh, this is okay. That's not what she's saying. She said, this is the reality of what these young girls are growing up in now.
Yeah. Do you think that there's some kind of ethical boundary that a director has to not show something that could be for the use of someone like a pedophile?
I don't know. It's hard. Honestly, when I first heard of it, we were talking about this. I was like, that's disgusting. That's absurd. That's horrible.
Yeah.
And then when I watched it, I was like, I mean, this is kind of the reality of growing up today. Yeah, it's uncomfortable that it's young girls twerking. Yes, it's very sexual. Of course, it's very uncomfortable. But you know what else I get uncomfortable at? All of those fucking pageants that they have 3 and 4-year-olds with a full face of makeup, hair done, parading around in dresses and swimsuits,
right.
and blowing kisses and shimmying and shaking and all of that. So
hit the nail on the fucking head. I've always thought this disgusting. I remember one time I was staying at a hotel and I walked by a conference room and they were doing that. And I straight up was like, what the fuck? Because I saw first a beeline of young girls, walking into the conference room thing. And then I was just like, what the fuck?
yeah, it's
Like they were wearing,
disturbing.
like you were saying, they were wearing swimsuits and they were like hair made up, fucking full blown makeup, the whole fucking thing.
And they're
it was
taught to be charming, and their charm is like blowing kisses, giggles,
oh,
and they
God.
do their shimmy dancing and
Can't
all
do
of
it.
that. So here's my whole thing when conservatives are trying to blow this shit out of the water. This is a fictitious film, and I think the director's intention is to make you feel uncomfortable, to make you realize what it's like right now to grow in a over-sexually stimulated environment as a young girl and to see what they're seeing. And to me, okay, you want to blow that shit up. Well, how about we blow the perverted shit up that's going on in real life? And what's happening in real life is, I guarantee you a lot of those people, because it's in the South where these are traditional and popular, I think a lot of these young girl pageants, where's the outrage for that shit?
Yeah.
Because that's real life. And I've always been disgusted and disturbed that we would parade any young child around like that in an adult-like manner. So, sure, you could be outraged about a documentary trying to show the truth, or a fictitious film trying to show the truth. But let's be outraged at these documentaries that fall around these fucking pageant girls. Let's be outraged at the 3-year-olds.
Yeah, or
in
TV
these
shows,
pageants.
right? Or TV shows that make
Thank
light
you.
of it.
At the TV
Tons
shows.
of TV shows that make light of it.
Or like Dance Moms, all that shit.
You know what? I actually saw a thing with, Sia, the singer. She had a video and explaining why she does the goofy hair thing over her face and all that. And the reason why was she had debilitating confidence issues. And so she was a songwriter and she worked a lot with Katy Perry and a bunch of other pop stars. And her father was a failed musician who put a lot of negative pressure on her and was always telling her that she would fail as well, just like him. And she always felt that. And so she dressed up in the, big hair thing to cover up her face and cover up her identity. And one day she was watching TV and she saw the Dance Moms thing. And she saw a young girl on that show. And she saw that young girl break down on an interview and just start crying. And just saying that it was really tough to be a part of a show like that and in that industry as well. She got in contact with that young girl and she said, look, here's the deal. You are now inevitably probably going to lead to a life in the entertainment industry. I would like to protect you. And so I would like to have you go with me on tour, and I will at all costs make sure that you are taking the proper steps in leading into your career so that you are not taken advantage of. And so she did that for her. And
Is that the Maddie Ziegler girl?
no, I honestly, I don't know the names. It was just something in passing I saw about her because I always thought that was goofy, the whole hair thing where it covers up her face. But then I kind of felt for her because it was like, oh shit, man, she had a rough upbringing with a dad with a failing career and said like, you're going to fail too. So that kind of is heartbreaking, but I to kind of connect with the whole Dance Moms thing and how critical and terrible that industry is. That's great that like Sia could do that for a young girl that was leading into that industry, which she believed was very poisonous.
Sure, I mean,
And so do we, apparently.
I think it's all
yeah.
poisonous. It's despicable, but let's not blow up a fictitious film if we're not going to fucking blow it all up.
The real thing. The
and
real
say
fucking
we're
problem.
over-sexualizing young girls.
Yeah.
Period. That's why this fucking film exists.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. I don't know what it's like to grow up in these types of... I've said that a million times. That's also a big factor of not wanting children. I don't want to raise a child in times that social media is at this level.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the pressure on young girls now. I had like Cosmo magazine and things like that. And I've always been a very confident woman teenager, young girl, I've always been fairly confident in myself. So it's not like that was too hard, but still, you always have moments as a young girl. Why don't I look like that? Why isn't my body like that? And that was out of magazines and movies. Can you imagine having it on your phone 24/7?
No. Guys, this is the perspective of two people who don't have kids.
Right.
So all we can do is share with you guys how we view this stuff from our past experiences and our assumptions of how parents must feel like this. But guys, I also want to say these topics have been total fucking downers. And we realize that. And we totally realize that. And guys, thank you so much for listening. And and we'll bring things up to more positive light in the next episodes. Promise you guys. Anyway,
I don't think we'll be releasing episode 10 on our social media like we were planning. I don't know if we're going to release this out.
Yeah, we are.
To our friends. Hey, guys, watch our new podcast. It'll make you fucking cry for 40 minutes. Yeah, well, keep your heads up. I know it's rough times out there right now. Sorry that we're reminding you of it. We try to be sometimes, a mixture of light and down, but this is just kind of what's going on right now. So, keep your head held high, stay positive, and
we need to add better fucking memes and more humor to our social media.
Yeah,
so
but
we
are humans too. We felt down
Yeah.
in the last week and a half, and this is just what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You need a break. So if you guys need a break, take it.
Yeah. So guys, follow us on our social media accounts. We're on
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at WNF Podcast. Watch us on YouTube. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple, any major streaming platforms.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening in. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
And week.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.